My name is Dr. Steve Rummery. I want to welcome you to this Restore Your Battery program for coaches. I'm super excited to kick this off. This has been a passion project of mine, and I'm excited that we are kicking off right now. I just wanted to say a couple things as we start the program, just to kind of set a couple of ideas in everyone's head, and to just talk through a couple of things. The first is that there's pretty much one goal for this program, and that is to help each of us achieve what we consider our dream practice. I've been coaching for probably 25 years now. I've coached leaders all over the world. I find executive coaching to be some of the most rewarding and purpose-driven work that I do. But there are costs, there are challenges to managing that practice. And I want us to take this time over the coming weeks to really dig into what makes a successful coaching practice and how can we sustain that. So many of us make big investments in our coaching practice in terms of time, effort, training, building our experience, certainly paying money. And we want that investment to pay dividends in terms of, highly meaningful work that helps transform people to become better versions of themselves. And many of us have, had successful careers as coaches. Some of us are new to the scene and we're trying to figure things out in an industry that's, fast growing and really evolving. So the next, few weeks, we're going to be focusing on understanding a little bit more about what drives our motivation to be able to run a successful practice. And I think by really exploring and digging into some of the things that we're going to be talking about, we're all going to be in a better position to figure out how we can achieve our dream practice. It's all going to be based on the core of a concept that I call the engagement battery. I think most of you have taken the Restore Battery Assessment. You know that there are 3 parts to it. There's the priority grid, the engagement battery, the Restore battery. And that engagement battery is such a core and critical part of, I think, understanding what we call our state of sustainable engagement. The state of sustainable engagement is basically the degree to which your engagement battery is full with engagement, commitment, energy from the work that you're doing based on the meaning and purpose that you're getting from it, coupled with your capacity to engage, which is driven by the degree to which you're thriving in your life right now, and also the degree to which you feel a sense of control. Over the coming weeks, we're going to dig deep on that to try to figure out, well, what can we learn about the state of our sustainable engagement as it relates to our coaching practice. So definitely over the next 6 weeks, we're going to be hitting a number of different topics. We're going to start this first week focusing on how aligned our priorities are in our life and where our coaching practice kind of fits within our life right now, and trying to understand a little bit how it connects with or hinders different other different priorities that we have in our life, like our family, our thirst for learning, our mental health. These are all critical things in our lives, and I think our coaching practice can really benefit it, and maybe at some times can be detrimental to it as well. So we're going to start with really looking at where our coaching practice fits within other priorities in our life. We'll then move on towards understanding what energizes us about our coaching practice, and how can you boost the meaning and purpose you receive from your practice. And I think we're going to be focusing a lot of attention on how do we express our values through our coaching practice, and then how do we kind of build a sense of engagement and energy through the work that we're doing in our practice, and how can we kind of maximize that. After that, we're going to have a conversation about how emotionally invested we are in our coaching practice. And you can really think of your coaching practice as something that you can actually have a relationship with. Sounds a little bit weird, but you have an emotional attachment, emotional connection to the work that you're doing, to the people that you work with. And some of us sometimes have blocks that prevent us from actually being able to really commit emotionally to the work that we're doing. So we're going to explore that a little bit and see if we can build a more meaningful relationship with our respective practices. After that, we're going to start talking a little bit about how we can restore a greater sense of thriving in our lives, which includes a sense of hope and optimism, a sense of resilience, an openness to new experiences and relationships. All of these things really affect our capacity to engage through our thriving. So if we're thriving, we really can become, our engagement with our practice can be much more sustainable. So we're going to focus on building a sense of thriving. And then after that, we're going to look at and explore our sense of control in our lives. And I've talked about this before, you may have caught it, which is, imagine that you have a steering wheel attached to your life. And if you're if you turn that steering wheel and your life turns with it, then you feel a great sense of control. If you turn that wheel and your life does not turn with you, then you don't have a lot of control. And when we think about our coaching practice, I think there are a lot of things in our lives that can affect how much control we feel about our life, but also about our practice. And so we're going to go into some details around how do we build a greater sense of control in our life, and in particular around our coaching practice. So those four things: engagement around what energizes you, coupled with your commitment and relationship, and the thriving coupled with your sense of control. All of those things really are facets of the engagement battery, which we'll dive into in great detail. Looking forward to that. Finally, the last week, we're just going to wrap things up and find out how we can sustain our our progress that we've made, the gains that we've made in terms of restoring our engagement battery. So looking forward to an amazing week, amazing program. Every week you should expect an email from me with, some tips on, let's say on a Monday, an email with some tips, some background, some context. And then throughout the week, I'm going to be sending you different reflection exercises and fun activities to kind of dig deep. And before long, our engagement batteries, particularly as they relate to our coaching practices, are going to be full, and they're going to be big. We're going to have big, full batteries. So thank you so much for being a part of this program. I'm excited to be working with you. If you ever have any questions, don't hesitate to reach out. And I look forward to the coming weeks. Thank you.